Liatuka ulwan kinkuna ba murira, rachikun. Mucha shakpanpa. Jawana bota ayuak tahonga chakanki dora. Kachikuita hodonga. Topa da bunkwalya gando do nado chutchut. Muksha papangpa, bola wana chikne. Bamuli slemo, poda wanga kun bes mulira rabest.
She in a trance or something? What has Solomon done to her?
Uba batu konchi. Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong katok smaktelia.
I don't care about your stupid treasure, Hanik. I'm here for Sarah. I'm here to rescue her, and I'm going to do just that. It's time to get out of this place and back to a world where things make sense.
Tragic, isn't she? She was once my pupil, my protege. I rescued her from a life of insignificance and then gave her calling, a purpose. Many years did she spend under my tutelage, learning, training, and honing the skills that would see her through any trials that life would pose to her. She was once on a path that would have shaped her into a mighty warrior, fit to be called a living embodiment of what my people, the Ichani, embrace as principle, as tradition. Yet that destiny, the destiny she had trained all her life to meet, was not to be. She was deceived, manipulated, and then shaped into a tool of war by a force beyond her understanding. This woman, she once had a name, Shauna May. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, stripped of her history, her culture, her identity. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, transformed into an instrument of your will. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, stole from me. And now the two of us finally have come face to face without distraction. Welcome, Revan. Welcome to the Chamber of Shadow. Surely you must have known that this confrontation was inevitable. It was a judgment decided when you chose to destroy the woman who was once my Padawan. Since my death at Terrace, all of what was important to me has been rendered meaningless. No longer do I care for the fates of the Jedi, the Republic, or the galaxy. I only care to pursue the single undeniable calling that fate has thrust towards me. To destroy you and all the depravities that your manipulations have spawned. It is a calling that drives me. It is a calling that has empowered me. And it is a calling that will serve to vindicate me for my failure at Terrace. To destroy you, Revan, it will be my revenge. And the Brotherhood of Shadow are the key to attaining that revenge. I will revive them, and I will use them as tools to destroy you and your empire of Sith. But before we settle our score, I sense you lack fulfillment. You lack answers. I wish only to fight you when you are at your best, so ask and I will answer. Shauna May, the one who I created, the one who you destroyed. You are wrong. Shauna May was my pupil, not the shell I see before me. I act to deliver a rightful vengeance to who she once was, not what she has since become. Do not underestimate her usefulness. Like you, she is an essential part of the resurrection process for the Brotherhood of Shadow. And she has proved a useful tool to lure you here. The remnants of our bond allowed her to determine a great many things, including my presence on Korriban and the movements I have made across it. By pure chance, I acquired information detailing the crew members which served upon the stolen Republic ship you know as the Orion. One of those crew members was a female Twi'lek named Sarah Degana. Sarah Degana is an anagram of Anaget Eris, an ancient Ichani queen that is said to be the one most responsible for modern-day Ichani culture. At the height of a rule which saw significant cultural expansion, she was betrayed by those closest to her and banished from Echani territories to live the rest of her life on foreign worlds. Shauna May, although not Echani by birth, was considered to be one in spirit, and thus was well versed in the culture and histories of my people. Although I find it curious as to why she chose that as her alias. After Terrace, I was under the impression that she cared little for her people's culture anymore. Having already been weakened as a result of the ritual process, she was not in the best of conditions to learn of the truth behind your grand manipulation of her. Broken by these revelations, she has since been consumed by the dark side energies that infest this chamber. I doubt anyone, least of all you, will be able to reach her through the hatred and self-loathing I sense she now feels. Ask, and I will answer. Once I was a revered member of the Jedi Order that died, only to be born anew, a greater being. When I fought and defeated Shauna May during what is now called the Second Battle of Terrace, I made the mistake of underestimating the ferocity of the retreating Mandalorians. When they destroyed the walkway beneath my feet, I plunged into the darkness, leaving everything of significance behind forever. When I awoke, I was defeated. I was broken. I was alone. Trapped beneath what seemed like a mountain of rubble, I was forced to enter into a meditation to slowly heal my broken body. In this slumber, I became unaware of the events that transpired in the galaxy around me. Yet sometimes I caught a fleeting glimpse of my former Padawan's mind, as if some remnants of the bond we shared still existed. It was these glimpses that allowed me to piece together the truth behind her betrayal. When my body was finally healed, I awoke from my meditations with the strength to free myself from my makeshift tomb. The galaxy around me had become a very different place. What was once Jedi was now Sith, and already had they turned on one another. I began my search for the being that was once Shauna May, because I knew that out of anyone, it was she who could lead me to you, Revan. I somehow knew you were still alive, and I was right. I am a man who desires his revenge. Nothing more, yet nothing less. They were a necessary sacrifice. I needed something to coax Shauna May, and by extension, you out of hiding. It was not the result of this sacrifice, but the act itself which had purpose. The moment it happened, its tragedy was echoed across the currents of the Force. Ultimately, this echo was detected by Shauna May. Tragedy is commonplace, and each leaves its own imprint on the Force. Shauna May could only detect the disturbance because of who perpetrated it, her own master. Ask, and I will answer. I have learned much of the Brotherhood of Shadow from the artifacts' remains and the writings within this temple. They are not a force to be trifled with so lightly. The Brotherhood of Shadow was a faction within the Sith that originates from ancient times, when the Sith themselves were an actual species rather than merely an ideological view held by the corrupt. During an invasion of Korriban by an advanced race of aliens who referred to themselves as the Infinite Empire, the Brotherhood of Shadow was a faction of individuals that served the Sith King exclusively as a sect of highly skilled warriors and assassins. It is said that the strategies and tactics the Brotherhood of Shadow pioneered on that ancient battlefield was what ultimately brought about a victory for the Sith, despite the Infinite Empire's greater numbers and advanced technologies.